Now, Christina's recovery took 2 years and 10 reconstructive surgeries.
那克里斯汀娜她花了2年跟10次这个复健的这个手术才康复。
At one point during that 2-year period, Christina was lying in her hospital bed in a tremendous amount of pain.
那在那2年期间呢，有一次，她就躺在医院的床上，非常的痛苦。
When suddenly she heard a voice inside her head, a voice that was not her own.
突然间，她听见脑海里出现一个声音，这不是她自己的声音。
It turns out that the force from this explosion was so great
那就是这个炸弹的威力如此的强。
that in addition to doing a lot of damage to Christina's body, it had opened up her psychic gift. She had become clairaudient.
其实这个炸弹威力如此的强，它不仅是让她身体受伤，但是它却也让克里斯汀娜的这个灵通力开启，所以她开始具有这个灵性的听觉，就是她灵性上的听觉被打开了。
And the voice she heard inside her head that day was one of her spirit guides.
然后她那天听到她脑海的这个声音，就是她的指导灵的声音。
And the guide said to her, "You planned this."
那个指导灵就对她说：“你自己计划的。”
And of course, Christina said, "Why?"
那当然，她就说：“为什么？”
Not an unreasonable question.
这不是一个奇怪的问题。
And here's what the spirit guide told her.
然后指导灵跟她说。
He said, "You wanted before you were born to have an incarnation as a gifted healer."
他说：“你在出生前呢，就想要这辈子来做一个有才华的疗愈师。”
And you knew pre-birth that if you could heal yourself from the devastating effects of this bomb explosion,
那你在出生前就知道说，如果你可以疗愈你自己这次从这个爆炸事件中所受的伤。
that you would then be able to take all of that wisdom and knowledge about healing
那你就可以从中得到所有这个疗愈的智慧，
and offer it to others.
然后把它运用在别人身上。
And here you see the motivation of service to others that I talked about earlier.
那这里我们就看到刚才我讲的服务他人的这个动机。
This is in fact exactly what Christina did.
那而克里斯汀娜所做的也就是这个。
After she recovered from the 10 reconstructive surgeries,
当她透过10次这个手术康复之后呢
Christina went on to get a PhD in speech-language pathology.
她就去研读这个speech， 就是这个演说或是说写能力的这个 PhD 博士学位。
She set up a private clinical practice.
然后呢，她就自己开了一个私人的诊所。
And at this point in her career, she has healed literally thousands of people.
而这个时候呢，在她的职业生涯中，她已经疗愈了上千个人。
She actually has the ability to go into a patient's brain energetically.
那她有能力，就是在能量上进入个案的大脑里。
By which I mean non-invasively.
我讲能量上，意思就是不是透过手术。
And to restore language processing capability in people who have lost that due to stroke or accident.
那然后透过这样子的这个能量上的介入呢，来去重复对方的这个听或是说能力，可能他的听说能力是因为中风或是其他的疾病而失去。
So we are talking here about a remarkably gifted healer.
所以我们现在在讲的是一个非常伟大的一个疗愈师。
And the only reason she can do any of this is because she healed herself from the effects of that bomb explosion.
那他为什么可以这样做呢？就是因为他从这个爆炸事件中呢疗愈了自己。
Now, when I interviewed Christina for the book, she said 2 extraordinary things to me.
那当我为了书而去访问这位女士的时候呢，她对我说了2件非常超凡的事情。
The first was, she said, "Robert, I have completely forgiven the person who planted the bomb."
那第一件事，她就是说 ，Robert， 我已经完全的宽恕了那个放炸弹的人。
That in and of itself, I think, is remarkable.
那我觉得这句话真的是非常的不可思议。
But then she said something even more extraordinary.
然后她又 又讲了更不可思议的话。
She said, "Robert, I am deeply grateful to the person who planted that bomb."
他说 ，Robert， 我其实非常的感激那个放炸弹的人。
Now think about that.
那你要想想看。
This is someone who had magnets held above her eyeballs at the hospital.
这是一个在医院里要透过磁铁来吸这个铁屑的这个受伤者。
And yet here she is saying in complete sincerity
但是他却坐在我的面前，而且非常的诚恳。
that she has forgiven the person who planted the bomb.
的告诉我说，他已经宽恕了那个放炸弹的人。
And she is deeply grateful to the person who planted the bomb.
而且他还非常感谢他。
This is one of the most amazing stories I have seen of what someone can do with an awareness of their pre-birth plan.
那这就是我看到的，当一个人可以知道他的出生前计划的时候，一个最深奥的一个转化性的例子。
You can easily imagine that she could have been angry for the rest of her life.
那你可以想象，他其实可以非常轻易的，就是一辈子保持着这个悔恨。
She could have been resentful for the rest of her life.
可以一辈子就是恨这个人，或是不原谅他。
But because she came into an awareness of her pre-birth plan,
但是因为他觉知到他的出生前计划，
and really worked with it over a period of years,
而且真的照这个计划去走，透过好几年，
she was able to get to that place of complete forgiveness and gratitude.
所以他就可以达到那个完全的宽恕跟感激的地方。
Now, it didn't happen overnight.
它不是一夜之间就发生。
She had many conversations with her spirit guides over a period of years.
他在这几年中跟他的指导灵有过好几次的对话。
But because she really worked with her understanding of her pre-birth plan,
但是因为他真的针对了他对出生前计划的理解下功夫，
she was able to heal the rage that she felt toward the bomber at first,
所以他就可以疗愈他当初对于这个炸弹客的这个愤怒，
and then get to a place of forgiveness.
然后达到疗愈的这个样子的，达到宽恕的境界，
And then to a place of gratitude.
然后再进入感恩的境界。
Now, her story is unusual because it's a bomb explosion.
那他的故事非常的超凡，因为是跟炸弹有关。
But she herself is not unusual.
但是他本人并不是一个超凡的人，
If she can do it after what she went through,
或是不寻常的人。如果他可以做得到，
then all of you can do it, no matter what you've gone through.
那么不管你在生命中遭遇到什么样的挑战，你也可以做得到。
And one way to get to this place of forgiveness and gratitude is by understanding that whatever you go through in life is part of your plan.
那其中一个方式，那怎么样达到这样子的爱跟宽恕的这个境界的其中一种方式，就是去了解你的出生前计划，跟他一起工作。
Now see, it doesn't bother me at all that the microphone went out because I figure I planned that before I was born.
老师说那个麦克风没有声音，他一点都不紧张，因为他觉得是他出生前就计划。喂。
So that's Christina's story.
所以刚刚那个是克里斯汀娜的故事。
Now, I mentioned earlier that healing is one of the major motivations for planning life challenges.
那我刚刚也有提到，疗愈是其中一个主要的原因，为什么要制定出生前计划？
And I want to read you a little bit from a story in which this is the motivation for planning the life challenge.
那我想要跟你读一个例子给你听，就是为什么我们要制定出生前计划的一个例子。
In the first book, there is a chapter about the pre-birth planning of deafness and blindness.
那在第一本书里呢，有一个章节是讲这个残障，就是这个耳朵听不到、耳聋，还有眼盲。
The deafness story is a young African American woman named Penelope.
那个耳聋的这个故事呢，它的主人翁就是一个叫做潘尼洛普的一个小姐。
She was in her mid-20s at the time I interviewed her for the book.
那当我在访谈她的时候呢，她是20几岁的一个小姐。